I'll move slightly. This is I don't know if I'm in camera or not, but this is for the New Hampshire Farmers Market. The 10th annual Pie Festival is coming up on September 16th. I understand that Krista may have already spoken to you, Ryan.
Yes.
But anyway, the board of the New Hampshire Farm Museum and the executive director are requesting the help of the select board and the town administrator to eat pie. We need judges. It will start at 12 o'clock and it lasts until the pie is gone. It's a wonderful day. If you are going to bake a pie of your own, you get in for free. If not, regular admission. It's a great day, and I hope to see you there. And we need judges, and we need people of fine eating abilities. Keep it in mind. Thank you kindly.
Thank you. Any other public comment? All right, I'm not seeing any more. I'll close public comment. Next on the agenda, new business. First up on new business, Conservation Committee appointment. So we have one spot, right? Mm-hmm. And we have two applicants that have expressed interest in the position.
Do you want me to read them?
Sure.
Okay. Okay, the first one that I have in front of me is from Andrew Rawson. It says, "Dear members of the Board of Selectmen, please accept my letter of interest to serve on the Milton Conservation Commission. As you may know, I've worked closely with the Conservation Commission during my time as a selectman. I feel very strongly about protecting our natural resources in Milton and the fact that these resources are what makes Milton the gem that it is. It is critical to be a good steward for our children and our grandchildren. I would be honored to serve in this capacity as a Conservation Commissioner for the town of Milton and to help with this stewardship. As an active member of our community, I have served on the Board of Selectmen, the Recreation Committee, and as the Selectmen's representative to the Budget Committee, the Treasurer of the Water District, and most recently on the Zoning Board. I currently have the time and the desire to continue to serve my town on the Conservation Commission. I hope you will favorably consider my application to this important commission, because in a community of this size, it's all about balancing development and protecting our natural resources. Yours truly, Andrew Rawson." The next one is from Sean Skillings, and it says, "Dear Board of Selectmen, I am sending you my letter of interest for the open position on the Conservation Committee as a member. I previously was on the board a few years past. Had to resign from the board due to a conflict in the type of work I was doing for the USCG. Currently, as a reservist only and run my own business from home here in Milton. I care deeply about our conservation land and the surrounding communities. Thank you for your time. Sincerely, Sean Skillings."
All right.
Do we have a recommendation from the Conservation Commission?
I would say I've worked with Andy on the Casey Road project for many years. He was actually a selectman representative on that committee, so I know his passion for, conserving land. So I would say if that would be the recommendation.
I would add that Andy also has been very supportive of Three Ponds Protective Association in our efforts to go and fight European Naiad as well as preserving water quality.
I make a motion for Andy Rawson to be the alternate. Is that correct?
No, appointed.
Or appointed to the Conservation Commission. Sorry.
I'll second that. All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
I want to thank everybody that applied and expressed interest in it, and thank you, Andy. Congratulations. And
We have a appointment sheet.
thank you. So, you want to come up and be sworn in right now? I repeat your name.
I, Andy Rawson,
Do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will faithfully and impartially
that I will faithfully and impartially
discharge and perform
discharge and perform
all the duties incumbent on me as a Conservation Commission member,
as a Conservation Commission member,
according to the best of my abilities,
according to the best of my abilities,
agreeably to the rules and regulations
agreeably to the rules and regulations
of the Constitution and laws of the state of New
of the
Hampshire.
Constitutional laws of the state of New Hampshire. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Congratulations.
And then we can do this.
All right.
Go ahead and sign it for me.
Thank you. Right here?
Yes. Yep.
All right. Thank you.
Thanks.
All right.
Where are the others?
All right, next on the agenda, Recreation Commission alternate appointment. The Recreation Commission, at their July meeting, had made a recommendation to the Board of Selectmen, through me, that they would like to recommend Chris Jacobs and Andy Rawson as a alternate to the Rec Commission. So I'll make that motion to appoint Chris Jacobs and Andy Rawson as alternate Recreation Commission members.
Second it.
All in favor?
This seems kind of
Right.
redundant. I mean, if he,
Do you need to swear them in too?
Do we have appointment sheets for that too, or?
No. But I have blank ones.
Ron, did
That's my fault.
I have blank ones. It's fine.
Do you want to do it now,
I got
Andy? You
you.
want to do it after? Or? Sorry, we should have done both at the same time if I.
just wanted to keep you jumping around.
What's good for you?
Want to do it now?
Sure.
while you do that,
Do you
I'm
wanna
gonna get a black
read-
pen.
Okay.
The one you took from me?
Just so I can fill it out.
Back
So
up.
by the time you're done.
All right.
Here we go.
I
I, Andy Rawson,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will faithfully and
that I will
impartially
faithfully and impartially
discharge and perform
discharge and perform
all the duties incumbent on me
all the duties incumbent on me
as a,
as a RAC alternate
according to the best of my abilities,
according to the best of my abilities,
agreeably to the rules and regulations
agreeably to the rules and regulations
of the Constitution and laws of the state of New
of the
Hampshire.
Constitutional laws of the state of New Hampshire. Thank
Thanks.
you.
Should have done
Thank you.
that.
I know that. All right, thanks.
We both should.
And I'll notarize it again. What? Are you gonna make me read all those?
Okay, so, next on the agenda, Economic Development Committee resignation letters and appointments. And I think due to time constraints, and we still have quite a bit on the agenda, we'll just go through the,
And accept the,
yes, regretfully accept the resignations.
okay, so we're going to regretfully accept the resignations of Mr. Larry Brown from the MEDC, Cubby Lorette, and also Melissa Brown. And I'd like to appoint,
All right, so we gotta make a motion
Oh.
for that, right?
Gotta
Let
mention
Jim-
that.
make a motion to accept the resignations for Larry, Cubby, and Melissa.
I'll second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
And I'd like to, should I just make a motion and go ahead and, or do you want to announce them first?
So we have
We have what?
5 total.
5. and we
4,
have-
and then an alternate,
And that's a recommendation from the
MEDC.
MEDC.
Correct.
Yep.
And those are Robert Bordeaux, who actually was an alternate. He's taking Larry's place, kind of sort of, as a permanent member of the board. Kathy Russ, Billy Walden, Chris Penta, and then as an alternate, Peg Hurd.
select your motion that we appoint those to the MEDC. I'll second that. All in favor? All right, I want to thank everybody who was on the committee, and also thank everybody who has stepped up to join the committee. Okay, next on the agenda, basketball hoop backboard donation.
That's me. A gentleman who has a business and actually lives in Rochester, but he used to play basketball here in town. Lived here in town as a young boy. Used to go to church here. Used to play basketball out in that parking lot. Would like to donate a basketball and hoop and the backboard for it, for the young people to play basketball here in the parking lot. He noticed that there is not a basketball hoop or a place for kids to play hoop in this part of town. He said there's one way up at the playground, but there's really no place for kids to play in this part of town. So I talked to the police chief earlier about it. He said we should put a sign on it that says not for use during town hall hours, and be careful with the location. But this gentleman came in, you know, he's a business owner, he drives by here all the time, and he said he'd really like to see this happen because he has fond memories of playing basketball out in this parking lot, and he just wanted the board's permission to make that donation.
Question on it? Not to be Debbie Downer, but the liability? Is there...
Well, we have basketball hoops at the playground. I mean, we'd put up a sign. We'd try to do it where it was well lit. Can we ask Chief if he has any concerns otherwise?
So that was where it used to be is basically where the container is right now. It's where the hoop used to be. So that was my issue with the location. If they start playing basketball, that's a little too close to Route 125. A basketball goes into 125. Cars are supposed to do 35. We all know that they're not doing 35 when they come over that hill usually. So my suggestion, if we are going to allow it to come in, it should be in a different location, and that location should be run by the Public Works Director as well, because his guys are going to have to plow this location. So whatever location is going to be best for them to not take it out when they're plowing inadvertently.
And should we just double check with our insurance?
I'll call Primex first, but pending Primex approval.
Yeah, pending.
Can I make a motion to go ahead and accept pending Primex's approval?
I'll second it.
Okay.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All right. We want to thank Scott for his donation. It's appreciated. Okay, next on the agenda, impact fees and ordinance. Les Elder. I don't see him here.
No.
Would you want to read that, Heather?
Thanks. Okay.
Quite lengthy.
What?
I just said it's quite lengthy.
I know. You might get me more. Would you ensure the following is added as an agenda item for the next public meeting? In order for Milton not to have to bear the brunt of possible new development, it is imperative that the town of Milton updates its school impact fee analysis and methodology and prepare other impact fee analysis and methodology such as water, sewer, and road infrastructure. I'm urging the town of Milton, the Board of Selectmen, the Planning Board, the Milton Water District, and the Milton Economic Development Committee to officially and publicly endorse the procedure and ensure that it is implemented with the earliest possible time. Attached is some reference material from the New Hampshire Municipal Association, which gives a lot of insight to the policy procedure.
That's good.
You want me to stop?
Yeah, I don't
Good.
think we, unless you disagree, Aaron.
I don't disagree with it all. I think
It goes into further detail to describe what is new development, why they're needed, purpose of the fees, which we have that information here if anybody would like to see it.
We could put
I mean,
it
it's
on the
also
web.
right on the,
And I make a motion that we do endorse it as part of the economic development. I think that it is something that needs to be looked at
so I
and
know
discussed.
the planning board discussed this at the last meeting a little bit, and this was started. There is the ability to do this already. However, with this, there's a constant updating that needs to be done, and there's a cost to that. My understanding of the history was it was a little bit of a struggle to get to where they got, due to, I mean, basically all different departments have to work together, or different boards, I should say, meaning the water district, sewer commission, school board, to be able to do this correctly. So I think that it's something that we definitely need to keep in mind personally. My personal opinion is I think we really need to address our zoning more closely
Right.
before we tackle the impact fees, but that's my opinion, not
Right.
the board's opinion. But I do think it's something that we all need to keep in mind.
I think you're right.
All right, we good?
Okay.
So did you endorse?
So yeah, I mean, I guess we're endorsing to
Correct.
keep it in mind.
I made a motion to
Look at
endorse it. Are you going to second it?
I will second it.
Thank
All in
you.
Left you hanging there for a minute.
Well, I just
Did anyone feel
endorse it,
that?
but I just want to make sure. I mean, it's not necessarily going to happen overnight.
No, it's not going to happen overnight. We think we all know that.
All right, next, police cruiser discussion. Chief Kraus.
You right.
Please close the discussion.
So, back in July,
It doesn't matter.
we had the conversation about
It doesn't match.
what to do with the 3 cruisers that we're going to replace with the CIP this year with the new lease. You guys wanted me to come back to you with what they were going to offer us for trade-in value on the 3 of them. So the other part that I've also come back with is only one of the leasing companies have got back to me so far. So I have one leasing answer on basically what that's going to cost. What they're going to offer us for trade-in value on the 3 cars is $2,300 on the 2013 Crown Vic, yeah. Police Interceptor, which currently has 101,000 miles on it. The 2 2015s, they're going to offer us $3,800 for each of those. Currently, one of those has 87,000 and the other one has 75,000 on them. The biggest issue right now is Ford is doing a very short release on the 2019s, and you have to place your order by September 21st. If you don't place your order by September 21st, you have to wait till the 2020s come out in July of next year. The biggest problem with that is the 2020s are a redesign, so it's going to cost us a lot more with outfitting, not only outfitting the cruiser, but my expectation is the cost for the cruiser is going to go up. These cruisers this year, so in 2014 when we bought the 2015s, we paid just under $28,000 for them for each car. They're now just over $29,000. My expectation when the 2020s come out, they're going to be probably over $31,000 just for the car itself, not for any of the lights or equipment that's in them. So my hope is to get at least the order of the 3 cars in before the 21st of September, so that way we're not dealing with the 2020 cars. That's going to cost us a lot more money in the long run. So the company that did get back to us, leasing company, is the one that we did the last lease through, and they were the best price the last time as well. They're the only ones that have gotten back to me so far. I asked Ford for a quote as well, because Ford's doing leasing for municipalities now too, and they haven't gotten back to me. So there's 2 options to do on the way we can do the cruisers. We can, when we purchase the new cruisers, we can purchase all brand new lights for the cars. We won't purchase new radios, and we won't purchase new computers for 2 of the cars, because the 2 cars already got new tablets when they were replaced in 2014. One of the cars has a laptop that is from 2012, and it's starting to come to the end of its life, technology-wise. So that will come out of the car. We'll buy a new tablet for that car. So that car, to outfit that car, is $13,000 worth of equipment. to outfit the other 2 cars is $9,265 if we go with brand new lights. If we transfer over the old lights, which are now outside of warranty, so anything that breaks on those lights, the lights come out, we have to pay out of pocket to get that LED fixed or that computer board fixed, is $3,000 cheaper for each of those 2 cars. So they're about $6,800 just to do the straight transfer. So what my suggestion is that we purchase the new lights for the cars. There is a way for me to get the to get the price down to be at option 2, so we stay below the $31,000, which is what we've been paying every year for the cruisers lease anyways, is to take and purchase the cruiser boxes out of the detail line, as well as stripe the cruisers out of the detail line, which are both appropriate uses for the detail line. So that would be, we would ultimately end up spending about $6,000 out of the detail line once we purchased the cruisers. Out of the lease, we would purchase all the brand new lighting and the 3 cars to do that with the leasing. And that would keep us below, and that would get us about at the price for option number 2. So, I'll show you guys this one. This is the...
So that leasing is taking in these 3 cars?
No. So
No.
this is without taking in the 3 cars. My suggestion is we're not going to see these cars probably till January. The way, if Ford's not going to start building them until after September 21st, because that's the end line date for ordering. So we're not going to see these cars until January. So my suggestion is they're going to offer us $2,300 for all of these cars, because we're going to be over that 100,000 mark by the time January hits here. At least on the car that has 87,000. I'm almost guessing this car as well. So my suggestion is the town sells the cars themselves instead of trading them in. We put a sealed bid on the cars, and we make the ceiling or the floor of the sealed bid is like $5,000, and then take that money and put it towards the lease, paying off a portion of that lease. The other suggestion is that we keep one of the cars for use for town hall, but that's the decision of the board to make that. If we're only getting $2,300 for each of the cars,
Right.
it's not worth trading it in.
No.
I mean, it saves us a little bit of money, but in the long run, it takes away some liability for us with town hall driving their personal vehicles, and I think we could probably get more selling it ourselves than we can trading it in.
Yep.
But these are this is the price that I'm looking to stay at, option-wise, which would then give us this payment yearly for 4 years. And the first payment would be this year, obviously.
Which is what's in the CIP too.
Correct.
That's it. Yep.
Yep.
So you said you needed to order these by,
So I need to order the cars by September 21st, but it's first come, first serve, and you don't want to wait till September 21st, because if you do, then you're going to be pretty much out of luck.
I don't have what he talked about. I didn't have anything like that.
He didn't give you guys my forms, because that's the only form, that's the only copy I have. And then this is just what Ford gave me for what the new cruiser costs. And that's the new cruiser, the cost of the new
Do you want
cruiser.
copies?
I'll
No.
give you copies if you
Okay.
want it.
Yeah.
Just
Sorry.
none of this stuff is official. This is just
Right.
quotes at this point. So, but the questions,
Now,
the biggest question I needed answered from you guys was, what do you want me to do with the cars? So that I can finalize my numbers with the lease companies on what they need to send us for paperwork.
I make a motion that we keep one of the vehicles for our use and
what if we just for now make a
Sell them
motion that we keep them and then discuss
later.
what we're gonna do with
We
them
can do
after,
that,
sell
too.
them or keep them or, all right,
So not trade them in.
not trade them in.
Perfect, so that I could take that off the table of figuring out the numbers. The second question is, when it comes to signing, the Board of Selectmen made me the signing agent for the lease the last time. Is that something the board wants to do again this time, or do you want to have Heather sign it, or do you want me to bring all of the lease paperwork to you guys to sign?
I say we make the chief the signer again. You good with that? All right, so make a motion that Chief Kraus will be the signer for the leases on the cruiser. And also, we will not trade in the 3 cruisers as part of the lease.
I second it.
All in favor? All right.
So I will work with the lease companies. I'll get you guys the finalized, what the best finalized leases are, and I'll bring that to the next meeting. And once I can get approval from the lease company to order the cars, I'll order it before, hopefully, September 1st. That way we know we're in the queue, our cars are ordered, and then we can move forward once the lease paperwork is all signed on the payments and stuff like that. That way you guys can make a decision on which company you want to ultimately go with on the lease.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you, Chief.
So is this a joke?
That's the wrong, that's for next time. You just got the wrong form in this time. That's coming up the next meeting. It's a preview. Highlights, coming attractions.
Joke or mistake, I guess.
It's a coming attraction.
All right, next on the agenda, emergency management trailer grant.
Okay. Our other chief could not be with us tonight, so he asked that I talk on his behalf. I'm going to muddle through, but he knows this a lot better. The grant application, it should be in your packet.
Speak a little louder. Yeah.
Okay. Didn't he prep you on this too? The grant application is in the packet for the description. The 2017 F-250 is eligible to be used as a matching funding for an emergency management performance grant, EMPG. The primary use is to store and haul the town's 6-wheel ATV. The current trailer is a 2003, which only fits the ATV and rescue trailer. In the future, the police and fire department intend to replace the ATV with a side-by-side. The proposed trailer is sized to hold a side-by-side as well as spare generators, bulk hazmat supplies, road hazmat notification items such as signs and cones, and additional forest fire equipment. We received a quote from Proline for a 20-foot trailer. The entire package with lettering is $10,000. The grant amount is $10,000, which will cover the full cost of the project. The town's match of $10,000 was expended in 2017, which is the purchase of the fire department's F-250. There is zero cost to the town for this project. There is a sample meeting minutes in your packet. Please follow those instructions, sign the front page, and initial all others. Please let me know if you have any questions. I will try to find coverage for tonight, but it's not looking good, Nick. So, this is the application that Nick would like you to approve for the trailer grant, emergency management trailer grant. Do you have the original? Oh. Okay.
You printed it.
What?
I bet you printed it.
I must have printed it, but I didn't realize this is the original. Okay. I thought it was a sample.
So I think this is it's a win-win for the town. We've already spent the money on the truck we previously bought to cover the match, right? So
Yeah.
it's not really, it already cost us. It's not going to cost us anything.
It's not going to cost you any more, and you've already spent the money. This is where they got to sign.
So were you good with it, or?
Yeah.
Come?
Yeah, I was just
That's where they got to
Now,
sign.
making sure.
do you want me to sign everything, because we can do that, or?
Yeah, they have to initial all the
Okay.
pages.
I mean, it doesn't matter, just
Let's
trying to.
start one here.
Okay. So
1 through 6, they have to initial everything.
I'll make the motion that the Town of Milton Board of Selectmen accepts the terms of the Emergency Management Performance Grant as presented in the amount of $10,000 for the purchase of an all-hazard emergency management response trailer. Furthermore, the board acknowledges that the total cost of this project will be $20,000, in which the town will be responsible for a 50% match, $10,000. And also have the Board of Selectmen Chair, Ryan Tebow, authorized to sign all documents related to the grant.
Second it.
All in favor? Aye. All right.
And you will not begin this project prior to official notification of ward approval. That was the other thing. I have to make sure you still do. So, okay.
All right.
Do you
I'll
want-
sign after,
Okay, yeah.
so we can keep.
Okay, we gotta print this
I'm
differently.
gonna
We gotta reprint this, I just noticed that. You had it.
No, I don't.
Oh,
If you guys want to
Thank
just
you.
look
Thank you.
Nope, I appreciate it.
You just want to look at it. Just remember, it's not official, it's
Right,
just
right.
ordered stuff.
okay. So you wanna reprint that, okay.
All right, next on the agenda, possible state boat ramp at Town Beach. I put this on there. So this has been talked about a little bit, I guess, in the past. I reached out to the state a little while ago to get some more information on a state boat ramp. Basically, it's a 25 to 35-year lease with the state. They require designated trailer spots. It has to be open 24/7 for free for boaters to put your boat in and out. It's not intended to be a swimming area. It's not intended to be an area to fish off the dock. The state initially just took a look on Google Earth at the town beach. They didn't say yes, they didn't say no. There was definitely some challenges if we were to try to do a state boat ramp there. Due to competitive parking, the fencing would have to be changed a little bit. So I just wanted to bring it up to the Board of Selectmen because essentially it's a Board of Selectmen decision. The state would be willing to talk to us if we want to talk to them to get further information. Like I said, it wasn't a definite no, it wasn't a definite yes, because there are challenges with the ball field, the town beach, competing for parking. That was one of their initial concerns. So I wanted to share that with the board, something to think about. Basically, the state then they would pay for the boat ramp and maintaining it for those years. So
Do you want a
something we can
response?
think about. Yep, you can.
I would think that it would be a shame to give that to the state. I really do. I think that that's probably kind of the pearl in the oyster is that beach area.
You wouldn't be giving the beach area,
well,
just a
but-
spot for the ramp.
But you're going to wind up losing. I mean, it's not a huge area to begin with. If we have to give parking up for trailers and that, we're going to lose quite a bit, I think. I asked one of the employees Sunday who was working at the gate to pull up the numbers, knowing that this was on the agenda, and the amount of money that brings in up there, I think it would be a shame. I mean, it's self-sufficient. I think if we took our money and repaired the boat ramp ourselves as a town, I just think it'd be a shame to give that away to the state. I mean, you're talking since the middle of May till the middle of August, it's brought in almost $33,000, and that's not saying the
33,000.
$33,000, $32,726.
The boat
That-
ramp.
The
There's
boat
some-
ramp and the beach. The boat ramp.
Okay,
That
'cause
whole. I'm lumping it all together because if
I've
we.
asked several times for numbers on how much the boat ramp itself brings in and was told it couldn't be separated.
Well, I went up and asked Diana Sunday morning early, and if she would mind doing this, because when I saw this, and she said, "How do you want it broke down?"
There's
And-
something wrong with those numbers, I think.
Well, beach, and I'm saying this is the beach and the boat ramp.
What is the figure you got?
$32,726 starting from May 8th all the way through until August 20. August 16th.
32 what?
$32,726. The boat ramp, it's not that the boat ramp brings in the huge amount, the beach brings in the bigger number. But I sat out there, I've gone out several times and sat there and watched people who come up and they bring the whole family, one of Uncle Bob will say brings up the boat. He puts the boat in. The kids are all out there playing on the beach, and then they alternate and they run them through. There's a lot of that goes on. I think it would be a shame to give that to the state. I really do. So.
Yeah, so I think that there's several options down there, and I think that we could still charge for the beach, and the state ramp would actually bring people into town and promote the town of Milton, which economy is hurting, and help the businesses in town because you have a state advertised boat ramp. I do think that we need to be able to separate how much money just the boat ramp has taken in, and my understanding is the way that they can't do that right now. The rec commission had actually voted and made a recommendation that be separated out. I'm not sure where that stands, but I'm not saying give up the whole town beach to the state. That's not at all what I'm
but
saying.
I
I'm
think
just saying
if you
a
give
very
up,
small part, and I think we should be open to discussing with the state to see what they have to offer, because it'd be a way to get, like I said, a state boat ramp, get us on the map with the state, and also, I mean, we won't have to pay the cost to put in the new ramp. So,
which is what, about 30 grand, and we already have $15,000 that the taxpayers in town earmarked for it a year or 2 years ago.
But it's $30,000 we could use on
There's
other areas down there.
$32,726 here that we can use to put in a new boat ramp. We could put in a nice pavilion down there so that the kids aren't having to use the tent. I mean, there's all kinds of things that we could use, and keeping it.
You sure you don't have the summer camp money in that?
Nope, positive.
Okay. All right.
I'm just saying, I mean, I just think it would be a shame to just give that away.
Yeah, and I just think that we need to think outside the box, and the $10 fee that we get at the boat ramp or whatever it is, we have to account for how we're going to bring people into town, and that free advertisement that the state would give us, I think would help. I wanted to share that with the board, and I guess right now we don't really have a decision one way or another. So we can move on. Next, zoning case fee waiver request.
Okay. We have recently been given, you will received a packet in your boxes from a law firm representing a butters group requesting a fee waiver for postage and public notices fees on a zoning case. They're asking for you to request the fee waiver for the postage and the public notice to be waived. There would be 50 certified mailings should you decide to waive the fees at a cost of approximately $8 each, and public notice fees run about $130 should you decide to do that. The question is, should you decide to do it? So I need a vote from the board if they're willing to waive the fees and make that decision or not.
Did our legal counsel make a recommendation?
Yes, but I'm not supposed to talk about it in public. But you're supposed to vote in public.
So do we need to go
I'm
into
not gonna
non-public
vote
too?
until I get the
Yeah.
legal opinion.
Yeah. Trying to wait.
So
Wait, can we not go into non-public and then?
we can. We'll have to
We're gonna have to kick everyone.
kick
Do you
everybody out.
wanna
Why don't we
table
table this
this?
to the end?
Table it to the end?
Okay.
We should probably put this in the end. They said it was, they gave us opinion.
Next on the agenda, Staff Appreciation Day Cookout and September meeting adjustment.
Okay. Staff Appreciation Day cookout. Normally the department heads do a Staff Appreciation Day cookout. And it's done in September. Close the town offices and buildings. And this time the department heads would like to do it on the 21st of September. It's a Friday. Close the town buildings at 11:30. Department heads provide all the food, so it's not a cost to the town for that. So I need your permission to close the town buildings and departments at 11:30, and it's held at the town beach, and that is closed as well for 11:30.
Make a motion to close the town hall and
Hall.
associated buildings and departments.
On September 21st.
At 11:30.
All right, I'll second that. All in favor?
Aye.
And it's because we want to celebrate all the hard work that our employees do all year and appreciate everything they do. And then the next one is, our next meeting would be on Labor Day. And again, while we appreciate all the hard labor of our employees, it's not appropriate to be laboring on Labor Day. So we need to make an adjustment for the meetings in September to September 10th and September 24th. So they be set up at 2 weeks apart.
Make a motion to change those meetings to September 10th and September 24th.
I'll second that. All in favor?
Aye.
All right. Next on the agenda, cemetery mowing discussion. Aaron?
Apparently there's some issues, Mr. Catwick. You have a problem with Mr. Catwick? The mowing, there's a field up behind, I call it cemetery number 2 because I don't know what else to call it. When you go down Appleby Road, you have the big cemetery to the left, you have the smaller one to the right. I call that one number 2. Behind that is a huge field that the town owns. It's growing up. It's not looking attractive.
I don't think John heard us. Do you want to invite him up?
Mr. Catwick.
John, do you want to come up? Or do you want to speak?
I would love for you to.
I'd be glad to.
You must not have heard me the first time.
No, I don't think he did.
I don't think you heard me the first time.
Want me to just stand here and do it, or up there, or
Whichever you're more comfortable with.
your motion?
It's gonna take a few minutes, probably.
Have a seat.
Thank you. What we're looking at is a condition where we need maintenance done in the Milton Mills Cemetery, now town-owned. And I'm going to get right to the point. We had a meeting August 15th with the cemetery trustees. I put up a motion to pay a contractor $200 for spraying, a licensed guy that sprays, that he's done it for the last 2 years, and a cost of $585 to the field that Aaron's referring to, for a total of $785. The key thing here, that the issue really is, it's not that we don't have the money. We have over $10,000 that I appropriated when we did a warrant article back in 2010, and I'd like to take the time just to read what it says. In 2010 warrant article number 29, to see if the town will vote to establish a Milton Cemetery Capital Reserve Fund for the purpose of planning and establishment of a new public cemetery, or for capital improvements or expansion of the existing public cemetery, to raise and appropriate the sum of $5,000 to be placed in Milton Cemetery Capital Reserve Fund, to name the selectmen as agents to expend from this fund. My goal tonight is to have you people make a decision and vote on this. Now let me explain to you what it really means. What it really means is, we've been through, this is complicated maybe, it's been through the cemetery trustees meeting. Mr. Cowick made the motion to pay this, and there was only 2 of us at the meeting, the third one couldn't make it for the cemetery trustees. The second vote was, would not make a motion for this after discussion on why the town is not taking care of the town-owned cemetery and the costs associated. So we're right back up to the thing that I think that we all need to understand. My recommendation is, we can discuss the town taking care of that cemetery when we start thinking about costs for next year. But at this time, I feel very strong about hoping that I get the support to continue on with this quote I have in my hands, to continue the field, as Aaron said, growing up and losing the feel, and also the poison, everything that I get complaints from the public when they're having burials up there. Any questions?
I mean, I pulled the account. There's money in the account to pay it.
The capital reserve fund?
Well, your miscellaneous, your cemetery miscellaneous account. That's where you've been drawing from all year to pay, like, out of it. You have a budget for this.
Not for this, no, you're incorrect.
Well, I mean,
Not for this, that's for the mowing only. That's for maintenance work for the existing cemetery.
So, I mean, there is money set aside for, like, for landscaping and that for that. You had budgeted for these type of expenses, so, I mean.
I think part of the problem is that he couldn't get the vote required at the meeting
That's the problem. The money's everywhere.
to get it done, so he's kind of
But
looking for us
make-
to step up to the plate.
Make sure we understand the point of this, and make sure we all understand clearly, because this is an issue for the town of Milton right now. And the issue is, we cannot shut the Milton Mills Cemetery down. My marching orders from my other employees that are working with me are saying that, John, you stop doing everything, let the town take it over. That's the issue I have.
Well, I mean, I'm not saying that, I'm just saying that we do have a budget, we have a place that we can pay, I mean, there's money to pay it. So,
Yeah, but again, you don't understand it at all, because the issue is that they say, no, they want the town to do it.
well, this is town money. This is town money, John. I
Yeah,
mean, it is,
it's definitely not clear here, but would you like me to read the warrant article one more time?
but this is, John, this is where we could take it from. I don't understand what the problem is.
Yeah, but
It's a town budget for
So
it.
it
put
seems
a-
like we can take it from either spot.
we put a warrant article up to do this, okay? And the voters said yes. The Board of Selectmen 100% at that time recommended it. The Budget Committee recommended 100%. And why are we not taking the money where everybody agreed to take it from? We've been
So-
doing it right along. For last year, we spent $10,000 out of there. All of a sudden, enough is enough, and John needs to stop doing what he's doing and let the town take over everything. I can't do that to the public. I'm sorry. I will not do that to the public, for the town of Milton.
I don't think, and that's what I'm saying, John. I'm saying let's just pay it out.
Again, Heather, you definitely don't understand this, so why don't we move forward with the Board of Selectmen and make the decisions?
Do we have a decision to go ahead and make, I'll make the
Well,
motion that we go ahead
I
and
just
pay
want
for
to
it?
fully understand, because I'm still a little confused. I get the warrant article. I don't disagree.
The
That
seven-
the warrant article isn't saying that we can pay money out of that.
Yeah,
I don't, I completely get it. I do
get
not
what you're
disagree.
saying.
But I'm a little confused on the difference, I guess, between this line and that. I understand it's two different lines of money. I fully understand that. What makes the decision that we're going to pay out of this line, or we're going to pay off the money set aside in the warrant article?
Because what I'm referring to is capital expenditures. It's a yearly thing that we started 3 years ago. The field has been mowed every year by John Catwick free, and I've done wrong by doing the volunteer work. We all know that. Now we're gonna have to start paying. The point is, the cemetery trustee's point is, they want the town to do it all,
I
okay?
understand that.
All I'm here for is to get some support to keep the operation going.
And I want to support the cemetery. I just want to fully understand. So,
Let's see, if we put it in this line, then we can accurately represent the cost of what it takes to run the cemetery, is what
Right.
I'm trying to say. And
which
that's
is a
what I wanna
different line
show.
than that.
It needs to,
Yeah, that's why I wanted this
so
one, because
we need to make the motion for it to come out of here.
it
But that's
should.
different than what John's
Than what
asking.
he-
us.
Either or, like I said, there's money
Okay.
everywhere. I just stated that.
But I wanted to
All right.
show.
The issue is not that. The issue is I can't get enough votes for my board to pay to hire the contractor.
But if we accurately show what the cost is to run the cemetery, then we have a picture when we're coming up with budgeting, and that's what I'm trying to get at, John. It's not that we're not trying to support you. I want to show what it costs to run the
Yeah,
cemetery.
again, let me explain it to you one more time. The capital reserve funds last year, how much did we spend for this new cemetery the town owns?
I don't have that figure in front of me.
You
John.
don't have any idea, I'm sure.
Well,
But it was over $10,000, I'll tell you what it is.
Okay, I don't have.
But
the
again, we can take it out of, there's money everywhere. We can take it out of the cemetery budget, the cemetery trustee's budget, was a total of $6,000 for maintenance and $4,000 for administrative. That's what it was. We take it out of that if we run short by year end on maintenance work, then we'll take it out of the capital reserve fund. Again, it don't matter. Money's everywhere. The issue is that the cemetery trustees are not going to approve it. You have the authority to do it, and I'm here to ask you to support me.
Yep.
So I make
Okay.
a motion that we go ahead and pay the $785 for the, $200 for the spraying, $585 for the mowing, and get it done
Out of
out of,
the 890 line.
right.
890.
I don't have the, out of the 4195, 890, cemetery miscellaneous.
And I will second that. All in favor? Aye.
That is fine.
Thank you, John.
Thank you.
And that way we'll accurately show what it costs.
Okay, next on the agenda is townhouse heating system discussion. You want to just,
We'll just bring it up, and we're going to table it until the next meeting, only because I did not get the quotes in this afternoon that I was hoping to have. So. But we are going to have to look at, Mr. Catwick and the Townhouse Stewardship Committee has spent over $200,000 restoring the townhouse, and what this has to do with is putting in a split system for cooling and heating. They're expecting next year to have it available for rent, which will be a great asset to the town. But we need to maintain, in these old buildings, as you all know, the temperature in it to keep, one, the pipes from freezing. They will have, I think, indoor plumbing, I'm pretty sure. Those,
Yes, we will.
and we need to keep the pipes from freezing up, and we need to keep the place cool in the summer, especially if we're going to rent it. Mr. Catwick?
I'd like to just throw in another point, thank you. The point of this is that the restoration of the building, we, the Townhouse Committee, have taken care of the total cost, as you just mentioned, of around $250 million. And we have not used one tax penny to date. We're proud to say that. Now we're getting into conditions where we're talking a little bit of heat, AC conditions, that's got nothing to do with restoration. So we're asking the town if they want to do this, to support it, for the use of it, for the future, for the public.
thank you. Okay. Next, 2018 7 to Save nomination, Plymouth Ridge Schoolhouse. I put this on here. I recently came across this. It's something that the State Preservation Alliance does. Each year they nominate 7 different buildings to promote, basically promote the buildings to being saved. When I saw this, I immediately thought of the Plymouth Ridge Schoolhouse. Basically, it's a program that focuses attention and staff resources on significant historic properties that are threatened by neglect, deterioration, insufficient funds, inappropriate development, and/or insensitive public policy. For 2018, the due date is September 10th, so it's coming right up. There's no cost to this. And if you're all right with it, I'll ask John if he wants to add anything to this, because I know John is familiar with this program.
That's fine.
John, do you want to add anything to?
Yeah, I'd like to first of all thank you for looking into this, Ryan. This is a great start for this project that we need to do. It's to do with the historical building. And then I would recommend strongly that if we accomplish that, which I really feel we will, I would suggest strongly that the next step would be to apply for a National Register listing. And then from that point on, we can start thinking about grants. And if you have the National Register and 7 to Save, it's going to be a lot easier going through the grant thing, because the National Register is going to require a lot of similar questions that's going to be on all the grants. And I'm going to just drop this off. I want, if anybody hasn't seen the inside of this building, it's really something that I think everybody will understand that we need to say. I want to just take a minute and browse through the inside of it. I know some of you have been in it, but that's a pretty good view of what it looks like
Pretty
today.
cute. It's a cute little schoolhouse.
So if the board agrees, I guess I'll take on filling out the application. And I'm sure if I need help, John will help me.
I'll be glad to.
So I'll make a motion that the Plumbers Ridge Schoolhouse is nominated for the 2018 Seven to Save.
I second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
All right, old business, website discussion.
I threw this back on here. It's the virtual, oh yes. If you notice, there is another follow-up with the virtual towns and school project proposal for the website for the town. Those of you who might have noticed, if you tried to last week on a Friday, tried to log into the town, you noticed we became quite entrepreneurial. And I'm sorry about that. We did not become an online pharmacy located in Canada. Unfortunately, we got hacked. But we are better off than a few other towns that were showing some interesting movies, let's say. So it really has become an urgent need that we get our new website up and moving forward. So we're trying to go in with the school. Their cost was substantially more, so they've gone through the RFP process. I have a list in here of all the other towns that are using them. They're very happy. They have never been hacked. They wanted me to make sure I pointed that out to our board.
Good.
So that is a big selling point for me. I also would like to caution the public that if you get frequent emails from anybody in town hall, and you get a strange email, and it might end up in your spam folder that says something about your payment is overdue, don't open it. We have found that some people have been getting those from people who are known to be at town hall, or they're on boards and commissions. I'm sorry. I can't tell you what happened, but I do know that the town has been compromised for several months because of this hacking that has gone on, and we're working through that. So, we're trying to move ahead with this, and I would like I wanted him to come on the 10th. He can't, but this is underneath what our cost would be for the RFP limit. I really just kind of wanted to get your blessing to move forward, to move this along.
I know we've been down this road before, and it
Did not end well.
go as well as we had hoped. I know these were one of the people that we looked at. The schools, going forward with them, I personally would be on board with going forward with them.
I second that.
Your
No,
thoughts are.
we've waited long enough, I think.
Okay.
I don't even think we need a motion, really.
We need a
Just
user-friendly.
a blessing to go forward, and then when we actually get hard numbers, we'll have to
Plug them in and
plug
go.
them in and make a
Okay.
motion then to approve.
Yep. Okay.
All right?
All right. I just wanted to update you, and please, I do apologize, and keeps it interesting around here, let me tell you.
All right. So, good to move on to approval of minutes. First up, June 18th, 2018 workshop.
Do you think we should table these till Andy's here?
We can.
I think we should table them until Andy's here.
All right. We can do that. I'm sure he'll be happy.
Yeah.
They could give me some reading.
Okay, so moving right along, next we have expenditure report.
It was
I
in
just got it.
it's in your box.
Oh,
I mean,
I
I
go- I'm
haven't
gonna
really
go
had a chance to
back.
go through it.
Okay.
Here, I'll give you mine.
No, that's good.
You want to go get it?
Yeah.
Okay. Do you want me to start with my comments?
What you needed.
Do you want me to do my comments?
I don't, Aaron, are you all right if she starts with her comments, or you want me to wait?
Okay. I wanted to congratulate the following Milton Fire Department promotions. Lieutenant Josh Byron to captain. Lieutenant Justin Bellin to captain. Senior firefighter Chris Stevens to lieutenant. So congratulations to all of them. I also wanted to mention that a firefighter from Milton has been deployed out west to fight the fires, and we want to wish him safe travels, and hopefully he'll return to us safely, and thank him for his service. Casey Road Cleanup Day is this Saturday from 9 to noon, and the Conservation Committee would appreciate people showing up. It's a very important project, and if you can give them a few hours and show up, I think that would be very beneficial for anybody who can give that time to them. The Conservation Committee does a lot of work in town, and it's very important for us. So if you could show up and give them some time, they've broken it down into segments. We have some information here at Town Hall. Please do so. It's very important for them to have you there. The other thing that I have on...
Chief Gross.
So on your Casey Road, can you just make sure during your conversations with the Conservation Committee and the Board of Selectmen, when you're writing whatever rules or regulations you're going to put in place for Casey Road, that there's no overnight camping and no fires? We've already had issues out there with people overnight camping out there and having illegal fires out there.
Yeah, we plan to bring forward all the recommendations that we have, and that is one of them.
So again, that is Saturday from 9 to noon. So please, volunteer cleanup day. It's been in the newspaper. Please, if you can make it, they'd really appreciate it. The other thing I need to ask the permission from the Board of Selectmen, the Moose Plate grant is due. We're going to need a signature for the Moose Plate grant, and I'm asking for permission to sign off on that. That is something that the MOU, the town has an agreement with them, and that grant is going to be due very soon. I talked to the people there today, and I can't tell you exactly who, but it's due on the 10th, and when it gets forward, they're going to drop it off. I'm going to sign it, and we'd like to have that go forward for the Conservation Commission. So can I have the permission of the board to sign off on that?
Yep. Do we need a motion? Are you good with a consensus?
Can you give me a motion?
Yep. We have a motion to have Town Administrator Heather sign the Moose Plate grant.
Second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. All right. Then there was one other thing. Then the other thing I would like to ask is to ask the chairman to sign off on the letter of support for the Conservation Commission for the Moose Plate funds to conserve Casey Road property, and that's right there. You want me to read that?
Yeah, it's a while.
Okay. It's, please accept this letter of support for the Milton Conservation Commission's application for Moose Plate funds to conserve the Casey Road property. The Board of Selectmen continues to support MCC's efforts to protect and recreational and natural resource value of the Casey Road property. After walking the property in 2014 with the MCC, the BOS agreed that the property should be conserved. When the MCC submitted an article in the 2016 town warrant to place a conservation easement on the property, the BOS endorsed this article. The town voted favorably to conserve the property with 683 in favor and 281 against. In April 2017, the BOS favorably recognized the Casey Road Land Protection Subcommittee of the MCC as an advisory committee whose purpose would be to work towards the completion of a conservation easement on the Casey Road property as mandated by the 2016 town vote. The BOS has further demonstrated its support for this project by endorsing the 2018 warrant article to retain for public use a 5.5 acres of town-owned land on Casey Road that abuts Tract 1. The town again voted favorably to concern this tract 521 to 168 now. The BOS believes that conserving this property will enhance quality of life in Milton by increasing access to trails, providing more opportunities to engage students in field-based learning, and protecting water quality and natural resources. Thank you for your time and resources that you contribute to this conservation effort. Sincerely, and they're looking for the chairman to sign this.
I support it.
Second.
Are you good? All right.
Mhm.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you. I just wanted to update the Board of Selectmen. We are doing a survey on insurance buyouts. We're finding that most of the towns around us offer larger insurance buyout plans for their employees, and you will have some information on that next for our next meeting. So that might be something we look at maybe as a cost saving when we're putting our budget together, because we're finding the insurance costs are very steep, and that's a big concern of mine. As that will be reflected in my budget. That is a big jump. So if we could maybe offer a larger buyout, and maybe some of our employees would take that, that might help. I'm looking at any way to try to come up with some kind of reduction. So, I wanted to thank John Catwick. I think he thought I don't support what he does for the cemetery, and I know what he puts an incredible amount of hours not only for the cemetery, but also for the townhouse project. And the town is in his enormous debt for everything he does for this town, not just for the cemetery, but for the townhouse project. And I don't know where Milton would be without somebody like John Catwick. So thank you, John.
Thank you.
We also have some sad news. Tonight, former selectman Joan Tasker Ball passed away last week, and I think some of you in town may have known her. I believe she was on the select board probably 10 years ago, or maybe longer, and I guess the services for her are this week, so I just wanted to make sure people were aware of that. And I also wanted to update people to let you know that if Selectman Lucier is not here, we wish him well in his absence. So that's all I have.
All right. Thank you. So we can bounce back to expenditure report.
Yeah.
Can I ask, I've marked my copy up. If I give you this tonight, will you,
Study it.
well, there's some very questionable things if you would just have,
I'll look at it and then
Vanessa,
look
right,
at it.
get with Vanessa because I have budget committee tomorrow night.
Okay.
Thanks, Mr. John Catwick.
Yeah. If you give it to me, I'll start looking
Okay.
at it.
Well,
tomorrow.
let me look at it right. Can I
Oh,
look at
finish it,
Yeah,
yeah.
while we do this, and then if
Yeah.
I can just.
All right. So we're gonna essentially table that till next meeting.
you
You're
have
gonna
anything.
give the markup.
Why don't we
haven't
do
really
that?
had a chance.
Because there's, you didn't get a chance. I
haven't
just
really
got
had a
it.
chance.
So if I can give this to you,
I do have a full detail.
and
When she gets it, okay.
Well,
Yeah. Well, if you guys. Oh yeah. Sorry. Okay. So, moving right along. Selectmen comments.
I don't want it.
I'm really good. He left, so and Heather already stole my thunder. So
Yep.
I did?
yeah, for Mr. Catwick.
I'm sorry.
Thank you.
All right. I'll just give a quick update on the Historical Society. I want to make the Historical Society is a separate entity from the town, but the last meeting there's a new president, new vice president, new secretary, and a few new members. So it's moving forward, and I think it's a good thing. And in the very near future, you should be seeing a Facebook for the Milton Historical Society, and I would encourage anybody that has any bit of interest to join, and let's get the Milton Historical Society back going again.
Can I have a comment on that?
Sure.
Only because Bonnie Dutton calls me every time y'all have a meeting and asks me to go to the meeting because I'm a member. But because I never know if you're going to be there, and since two of us can't be in the same room without calling it a meeting, what can we do to...
You tell me if you're going, I'll post a meeting.
But see, sometimes I don't know. It depends on if there's a conflict with another meeting. I mean, there's got to be a way to get around this so that...
I'd have to post a meeting.
Can we just have a standard posting? Do you go to all of their meetings?
Now you're gonna.
Pretty much if I can. And now that I'm
So can we just do a
one of
standard
the
posting
people
of
that was
it?
elected Tuesday, I will be at almost everyone.
Yeah, now you're what, vice chair or something, or?
I mean, it does make it difficult with a 3-member board. If I'm a member of the Historical Society and now you're the chairman or whatever, it does, you know, I mean, it makes
Right.
it hard.
No, we can post it. I mean, it's the 91A. We just
Right.
need to be very
But can we
cautious.
post it?
We can't make decisions about the town or talk about
Don't
town
talk about
business,
town.
which
And I get that, but
Don't
I mean,
mention the
can we
town.
just put a standard blanket? Does it have to be that we're both going to be there?
Well,
What can we
you
do to
could
circumvent?
You could say you're not going to talk about the town.
Well, no, that goes without saying. I mean, it's a historical society. It's a total separate entity.
Then you're not going to make any decisions. But I mean, if you want to be
I mean,
very
if ever we
cautious.
can post it when we're gonna go, just post it.
Okay.
Email Heather and have her post it, just to be as transparent as we can.
Right.
And again,
You
it's
have a
not, it's really
schedule?
not a meeting.
Do you have a schedule of when you guys are meeting? Because it
We do
seems
it the second Tuesday. No, the first Tuesday of the month.
First Tuesday?
First Tuesday. There's probably gonna be some adjustments,
Okay.
so.
I'm putting notes on.
All right.
Okay, sorry to interrupt. I just
No.
while you were throwing that out there.
Okay, so we good with other business for now? We got this one zoning case that we need to
Yeah, we're going to talk about that.
talk about still, but before we,
Is that the non-public? Going back into non-public?
we're gonna have to go into, yep,
Okay.
we gotta go non-public for 2 more things, because we
Okay.
didn't finish.
Well,
our
if we wrap
original.
this up, can we have just a couple-minute break in between?
Yeah, I got to grab
Yep.
Chief for a minute. I
So
have one
before
question.
we go into non-public though, I missed, our previous non-public 91A32J. I need to make a motion to seal that for 60 days.
Okay.
Mhm.
Second, do I have a second?
Second it, sorry.
All in favor? Aye.
Yes.
All right.
I used to have my sidekick over here.
What's our 91A for? Meeting number for
Could be. It's legal. Which day? Which day?
All right. You want to take a break now, or you want to go?
Yeah,
Take
can
a
we
break.
just take it before the non-public?
Take a 5-minute break. Recess
Okay.
for 5 minutes.
Okay, we're gonna recess for 5 minutes.
Before we go into non-public.
Yeah. So. Yeah.
Oh, Pat left us all these highway questions. Oh, well, I can see why. It's the percentages that are coming in. Chief?
You know what, Ryan? I've put in, I don't know how many times to the Historical Society, and never got